We've already passed through the first 4 events of this year's Marbleleague Showdown, but we're ready for 5 through 8, coming up now inside of this beautiful stadium and ahead of the dynamic finale that will crown a Marbleleague champion coming up after this. You see the overall standings where we are right now thus far. Reminder, the bottom 4 teams will not be relegated this year, but with so many events left, any number of these spots could change. It's tough to tell after we saw the Midnight Wisps, for instance, jump 7 spots into 5th in the last event where they got gold. As we get ready for the triathlon here, you see a twisty, tortuous course to begin this one, and they will start on the track, and off we go. This is heat number 1 with 6 teams and their individual marbles. That includes Ember. This is the first individual event, and already Ember out to a big lead for the solar flares. Out of the track section, onto the sand, now into the water. Heading to the line. Ember's going to clear this one easily. Look at that battle for second place, though. A draft and then a move to the outside. That's going to be nearly a photo finish, but I'm pretty sure Aqua from the Oceanics got it, yes, by 0.03 of a second. Pulsar and Royal placed in the bottom 2 spots. And both of those teams represent our top 2 in the standings, out already. The Pinkies' pre-event dance showcase went a little overtime. They're not present at the triathlon for some reason. That is interesting. Pinkies fans are not happy. Oh, wait a minute. Well, there is a clause in the rules, however, that the coach can compete if all 5 athletes on a team aren't present or are deemed unfit for an event, and I think that is exactly what's going to happen here in the second heat. All the coaches are submitting approval for Pinky Promise to compete in the triathlon, and this is a developing situation that I don't totally understand because I've got to focus on what's happening here in this event, and it's the Jungle Jumpers who are out to an early lead. Heading into the water. Oh, this is going to be a 3, perhaps 4 marble race. Down to the finish they come. Jungle Jumpers are in there. Creeping across the finish line. Who got it? It is the Jungle Jumpers over the Turtle Sliders and then the Pinkies. Oh, Snowball's last for the 3rd time this showdown, meaning they've placed last in all 3 of the individual events. Oh my. Snowy, captain for the Snowballs, cannot bring that one home, and further dejection for that squad. Ready now for the final here in the triathlon. Bumping and shouldering back and forth as they head into the first few turns. A sharp right-hander awaits them now on a long, tortuous left-hander that opens up, and out they come onto the sand. And it's Aqua from the Oceanics who is leading the way but throws down a block, and the Turtle Sliders are right there. Positions change just as they head into the water, and what's going to happen here? The Solar Flares drifting to the inside. Are they going to get across? Yes, they do. They win their first ever showdown medal, and it's gold. 3/10 clear of Dash from the Turtle Sliders, who was making a lunge at the end there, and another decent finish in the water for Aqua of the Oceanics. Well, coming out of the Showdown Triathlon, mixed results, I would say, for some of the teams. The Pinkies had a roller coaster. The Snowballs had, well, if that was a roller coaster, it fell off the tracks pretty early on before they even got to this event. And what does this do to the overall standings? Watch for big movers here. Turtle Sliders are one of those big movers. Oceanics and the Solar Flares, all of them, jump at least 4 spots. Turtle Sliders jump 5. Well, that is a wonderful way to make a move with just 3 events left. And this one all comes down to precision in diving. Snowballs. They blend in with that starting gate. Down they come. Now you're watching for synchronicity in the air, and as they come into the water, you don't want a big splash, and then it's where they land on the targets. They got a little bit off in terms of how equidistant they were, but a good landing point, and that freeze frame shows you where they hit the targets. 3 threes and a 2. 10-8-4 is the mark to beat. Midnight Wisps now. They got slightly off in the air. Ooh, not the best landing either. You can see how jumbled they were, and look at that, 2 zeros. The Midnight Wisps had a collision among those top 2, and look at the bottom 2. They both landed on the same target. Oh, that was disastrous. Puts them into second out of 2. So that's going to change. Jungle Jumpers come in now. This is diving. It's pretty darn close to jumping. How well do they live up to their name? It didn't look coordinated on the targets, at least in real time. An okay bounce. They kept fairly equidistant in the air, but oh, look at that. Shambles when they reached the bottom of the tank. Somehow salvaged 2 threes out of that, and I'm not sure how. The Bumblebees now also will be chasing that 10-8-4. Not a bad bounce. Where do they come in? Tough to tell from the side angle. Well, that might have a couple of okay scores. No, just one, and it's a 5. That does hit the bullseye. And it's that top jumper. 2 2s after that, and just a 1. Still puts them into second place, even with a bullseye. This is a team event. You have to perform well. Solar Flares coming up now. They're riding a wave of momentum. Ooh, that is tough to judge where they came down. I was going to say it didn't look the best. Oh, and they're already out of sync. That does not match their dominance from the triathlon. They go into last place, actually, in run 5. They go 5th. Primary up now, halfway through. And an okay bounce on the jump. Where did they come in? They were off just slightly, 2 3s, but pretty good sync as they come in. The middle 2 just got close together, perhaps losing focus for just a moment, but timing-wise, heading down to the targets, could have been worse. Best synchronicity thus far goes to Team Primary. As we head now to the Oceanics, former silver medalists in diving, so a lot of pressure on this team, especially after running well in the last couple of water events. Ooh, they were a bit off. Different heights you can see on that bounce. They will get docked for that. Minor chaos as they come down. They're switching. Oh, it's never good when you go crisscross. Hitting the targets there. 2 2s and 2 1s, but look at the deduction that they got. 2 tenths down, and that puts them in the bottom part of the order. That 10-8-4 is holding up decently well so far as we get into these final few runs. Balls of Chaos now, and they actually looked a bit out of sync before they even got to the jump. Did they make up for it on the landing, though? Those left 2 from that angle, not the greatest. In fact, one of those just got a 1. Oh, big deduction, though, for that mistake coming out of the gate. Different heights as well. Hey, well, the Pinkies are here. They showed up just before the start of this event, following their pre-event dance show that they put on. That's a fan favorite for them, and some of the fans, I think, were also still trying to get into the stadium. And they reward them with a bullseye, but they were a bit off as they left the jump. On that bounce, they lost nearly 3 tenths. Still an okay total. Puts them into, provisionally, 3rd, but it is still the Snowballs up there in 1st. And as we get down into these final few dives, you're going to start to see their medal chances improve one by one by one. For instance, right now, with 3 to go, all eyes turn to the Turtle Sliders, another team that, again, jumped up in the standings tremendously. But that landing is pretty unremarkable. Crisscross, they did get a 3 in there. They were decently in sync up until that point, but they started to drift together on the entry to the water, and it only got worse from there. 6th out of 10. All right, now, Team Galactic. With just 2 runners left, that means the Snowballs can finish no worse than bronze. They will get a medal. After the shame of the last couple of events, they desperately need it. And look at this, an 8th place there for Galactic. That means no worse than silver for the Snowballs. Talk about a turnaround. They could use it. Cobalts. All that sits between the Snowballs and gold. What can Cobalts do? It was a decent bounce, it looked like. Just that 3rd marble there from the left. getting a bit higher than the rest. What does the landing do for them? Ooh, they were starting to splay wide. Oh, one of them got a 0. 7th place, and that means the Snowballs are diving champions. We did not see a Marble League record fall. That one goes back to the Shining Swarm, by the way, that 12 3/4 almost. But the Snowballs get the gold, Bumblebees the silver, and Pinkies the bronze. A 1 full point advantage that the Snowballs pulled. Go along with their 3 last places, I guess. This is their 2nd gold. Talk about inconsistency. I mean, they had a gold medal and they were still dead last in the standings. Well, they're not last anymore. Look at the Bumblebees, up 6 now. The Cobalts hold the lead as we get down in a couple of events to go. Cobalt's the team to beat. The Marbles making their way out of the stadium to the sand. Beautiful conditions thus far here in the Sand Moguls. And we are away. We have 4 team captains in this event. Team Primary are leading the way with Arip. Not one of the captains, but holding on strong. Balls of Chaos take over 2nd from Team Galactic. Jungle Jumpers with a brief spurt of speed to take 2nd place. Oh, they were bumped from behind. Was that the Snowballs that launched them up there? They could not sustain that. It perhaps got them out of their stride. Pinkies are running well now. In fact, they get by into 1st place as I say that. Primary 2nd, Snowballs 3rd, Balls of Chaos, Galactic, Jungle Jumpers, Bumblebees, Midnight Wisps in 8th. Cobalts are leaders down in 9th. Oceanics, Turtle Sliders, and the Solar Flares in dead last. This is a huge lead that Team Primary has clawed back now. They did not like being 2nd place. Pinkies have fallen back to 5th. Oh, we're already across the finish line there. Primary, this is going to be a huge win for them. And that is a clear gold by 2 seconds over the Snowballs Snowflake. Cobalts, what a recovery. Oh my goodness. Azure, the captain of the Cobalts, 2nd Showdown medal, 2nd Moguls medal as well. Of course, not as bumpy as we've seen for the Moguls in the past. So you have to wonder if that did suit some of these other teams better than the more traditional Moguls that we've seen. Team Primary will say, oh, no, these were much worse. Worse Moguls than we had before. These were really tough. 4 medals for the Cobalts. Put them up top. Team Primary jumps 4 into 2nd place, though, as we head into the final event of the Showdown. Teams have selected their final individual marble, which always carries with it a bit of second guessing. Is there any gamesmanship in there as well? You have to wonder, did they make the right choice? Putting it all on the line as we see the runners. Lights are on. And we are rolling in Marblerace. Coming around that first turn, it's Hop from the Jungle Jumpers, getting a great lead down the sand as we head back onto the track through that split. Still holding on to it. A big gaggle of marbles coming back there in 2nd place. That is the Cobalts. They're going to hold 2nd. Oh, hold on. No. They're going to be side by side. In fact, they lost it out. It'll be the Bumblebees getting the jump in 2nd place. Already through the 1st sector, passing the Jungle Jumpers. That was a wonderful move. The Jumpers did not see that one coming, and it's the Bumblebees Bumble, their team captain, who leads the way. Team Galactic are in 3rd place, trying to hold off the Midnight Wisps, and they're going to be side by side coming up the belt. Several side by sides. Who gets the best jump coming off? And it will be the Midnight Wisps. They take over. Oh, they take over the lead as well. That was a great move from Wuspy. On lap 3 of 13. This is a quick lap. This comes at you so fast. Bumblebee's in 2nd place now. Oh, but watch a charging Team Primary back there in 3rd. Cobalts fall to 4th. Then it's Jungle Jumpers, Pinkies, Turtle Sliders, Galactic, Oceanics, Solar Flares, Snowballs, and Balls of Chaos with Anarchy, their team captain, in dead last. They've got a lot of ground to make up, but they still have 2/3 of this race left to go. Midnight Wisps will have a little trouble getting onto the belt. It's going to be 1 step between them and the Bumblebees. Bumble trying to catch up through the two left-handers that make up the first sector before they plunge onto the sand. Abrasive as it is, but some marbles gliding through it as if it were no problem at all. Pinkies in third, Cobalts. Pinkies take second, actually. They want the lead coming across the line. They're going to be 2/10 back. Top three separated by 3/10. It's going to be side by side with the Bumblebees, who take it, but for how much longer? Pinkies have always been fast on the sand and through the third sector. They slice back and forth. They go to the inside, and a nice move to get by. Late into that turn. Oh, but look at this. It's the Turtle Sliders shouldering them all aside. They take second place and lose it coming off of the belt. Oh boy, that was close. They used all that energy in that first couple of turns, and now they are plummeting like a stone. Midnight Wisps holding a 15-length lead right now over the Pinkies. Then Bumblebees, Cobalts in fourth, Galactic fifth. Turtle Sliders coming up there in sixth. They've fallen all the way back there. Jungle Jumpers, Primary, Snowballs, and Solar Flares make up the top 10. It's still Oceanics and Balls of Chaos dead last. Lap 8 of 13. The Wisps are trying to build this lead. What's it going to be this time coming across the line? Well, that's impressive. Over a second and a half. The Pinkies, with Pinky Toe, their captain, still have some time to get up there, but this battle for the final podium spot, and really even for the second podium spot, has gone back and forth so many times, I'm hesitant to say that it's over. Bumblebees in third, with Team Galactic right behind him, 2 lengths back. Do they both come up the belt? All right, they do. They're not going to be side by side this time. Everybody exits cleanly. Midnight Wisps lead with just 3 laps to go after this is building. Well, that's a nice run straight down the middle from the Turtle Slider, showing how the sand portion is done, keeping it off the walls. In the meantime now, we are getting down there. Just a couple of laps to go. Midnight Wisps, Pinkies, Galactic have some space back to the Bumblebees in fourth. Midnight Wisps with Wuspy. Quick peek over the shoulder. See that battle for second place heating up. Oh, Pinkies lay down a block. Incidental contact between them, and that looked like some difficulty coming up the belt for the Midnight Wisps. That lead is way down. Pinkies may yet have a say. Pinky Toe and Team Galactic get by. That is Starry. Midnight Wisps fall to third on the penultimate lap. With ground to make up, the lead for Pinky Toe is 0.3 of a second. And it's disaster for the Midnight Wisps, who may yet lose the podium spot. Back and forth they go. Pinkies and Galactic. With just a couple of turns to go, who's it going to be? It will be the Pinkies, but 6th place in the meantime is where we're watching. Watching for the Cobalts coming in. They do get 6th. That guarantees, by early math, that they are champions of the Showdown. Oh, talk about a late race move. The Jungle Jumpers had him. I'm not sure if it would have made a difference. But by the permutations, they needed to finish around that area. Some of the Marbleleague elites on the podium in this event. Pinky Toe, Starry, Wuspy, making up the final podium of the Showdown. And an entertaining event it was. Wuspy absolutely gassed. Tried to bring it home, but just couldn't do it. And look at how close this is. Oh my, that is very close. 2 points separating the Cobalts and the Pinkies for the championship in the Showdown. The Cobalts may win again, but the Pinkies and Team Primary, they are rightfully celebrating the podium after a tumultuous Showdown. 8 full events. They wear those medals proudly. Congratulations to our podium finishers. Coming up next, the finale of the Marbleleague. Find out who wins it all.